I'm finally back. Oh my gosh, midterms are done and I'm so excited. I'm so glad because seriously, I stayed up until like 3 or 4 o'clock every night studying, and then I would have like 9 o'clock classes for my test, and it was just awful. So I'm really glad that I'm finally done my midterms and I can relax. I wanted to focus this video on answering your guys' questions. I took a short break and I asked you guys to ask me some questions about like university life here, or really any questions that you guys had. I'm gonna go ahead and get started with those questions. First question comes from this beautiful person here. It says, I am a business student and I am actually curious about the courses you are taking in CNU. Is it more a lecture style or interactive class? Other than that, I would like to know about Gwangju city life because unlike Seoul and Busan, we don't find many videos about shopping stores, restaurants, PC bangs, cosmetics, etc. And also, good luck with your midterms. Get well soon, fighting. So thank you so much. And by the way, I am feeling a lot better. Thanks for your concern. We'll go ahead and start with your first question about the type of classes that they have. This is my second semester here at a Korean university. I would have to say that the majority of the classes are very lecture based. I just started taking English literature because I plan to make English literature my minor, and the English literature courses, they have a lot of more group activities and stuff, more like talking in a group and like talking back. But as a business student, you're going to run into just lecture classes where you just sit down, teacher starts teaching you stuff, and then once he's done talking, you leave class. That's how most of my classes are. They give you the PPTs on eClass, and then eClass is like the university portal site where the teachers can send stuff. They give you the PPTs or the PowerPoints and you kind of upload them. You can print them out. I usually leave them on my laptop and watch, and like I add notes to the bottom of it, and that's just how class is. You just sit there and listen. Unfortunately, they're not as interactive in the business courses as they are in maybe other courses. I'm only coming from my personal experience as a business major, but I know the English literature classes, I'm taking 2 of them right now, and there's a lot more group activities where you're like talking in groups. So I do like the English classes a little bit better just because they're more fun. Your next thing is that you would like to know more about Gwangju city, because yeah, I agree. Unlike Busan and Seoul, Gwangju doesn't have a lot of content. That's a big reason I started making content. There's not a lot of videos in general about this university, about this city, about the other schools. I'm actually planning to make a video about the other university that's nearby because there's really nothing about that university here as well. Shopping areas, I would have to say the biggest shopping area is downtown. I put a link up here also because about a year ago, wow, a really old video, I apologize for that video, but it shows me going around NC Wave shopping. I will make a video of the areas you can go shopping. Shopping downtown, definitely downtown. You'll find all the best things. But if you don't want to travel so far, there is some shopping here in Humun, which is backgate of our university. I'm not sure about the other universities. I know our university backgate has a lot of areas to go shopping. If you don't want to go so far away, if you're on this campus, then definitely go to Humun, and they have some clothing shopping. They have some like little knickknacks and stuff, so that's good. But downtown is the best. The restaurants, well, it depends on what type of food you want to eat. If you want to have exotic food, like from different countries, the best places to go is like for American food, the First Alleyway. Mexican food, I love Tequila's. That place has really good Mexican food. Corona's here in Backgate also has a lot of good food. For Italian food, Lani Lottie's is very good here in Backgate, and there's some pasta places downtown. Downtown has a lot of like Korean type food also. If you want really cheap Korean food that's like quick on the go, I would recommend Kimbap Nara or Kimbap Cheongguk because you can get a whole meal for like less than $5 there, or like 5,000 won. That place is really good if you're like on a budget. For PC bang, pretty much any PC bang is really great. I've gone to Fiesta, but I've also gone to a couple other PC bangs like near the PC bang. PC bang is PC room, like a computer room where you go and play video games. I'll show you another link here. That's where you can go play video games, and or you can just use the computer for whatever your purpose is. Cosmetic stores, I am currently in love with Tony Moly. I actually have a video coming up very soon for you guys of products that I got from Tony Moly that includes like makeup and like lipstick and stuff, and there's actually a little giveaway there, so stay tuned for that one. If you want like hair products, I would say that Nature Republic has a very good hair mask. If you want face product, right now I'm using Pure Forêt, which is what I got from the concert that I went to. That was like the free gifts that I got. They've been working really well, but I have very dry skin, so I go back to like Innisfree or Nature Republic to get better lotions for my severely dry skin. I think probably the places I go more often for like actual lotions and stuff is definitely Innisfree or Nature Republic, but Tony Moly is now becoming my favorite for makeup. I used to use Etude House, but I feel like their quality isn't as good as Tony Moly, and I'm not willing to go to the bigger brand stores to buy makeup because I'm really just not that big into makeup. So Tony Moly is definitely a good halfway point where you can spend a little bit more money, but you can get better quality compared to just going to Etude House. I guess like fun places to go if you want to do like around campus here, there's a VR place that you can go to. There's escape rooms that are right here in Backgate. You can go obviously to the PC Bang. You can go to arcades. Those are really fun. There's different type of cafes. My favorite thing lately has been going to the room cafes because I can just sit down in a room. It doesn't cost too much money and I can just edit videos, or I can go and read comic books or something. I can do whatever I want in a little area where I can like actually like lay down and everything. So those are my favorites right now. Let's move on to the next one. So the next one actually came from Instagram. So it says, "Hello, I found your YouTube channel. I want to say that I love your videos and your personality." Thank you. I feel like my personality sucks. Keep up with the good work. Thank you so much. I also have some questions about how you transferred from a US community college to a university in Korea. How many schools do you apply to, and was it difficult to get in? Thank you so much for your videos. They're a lot of help. I was also looking through your channel to talk about experience in the Korean university language program, and I think your speaking skills have improved in the program. Do you recommend it? So I'll start with the first question. I'm going to answer these very briefly because I plan to do a video soon about like how I transferred to this school and the language courses. I'm going to do an updated video. To transfer, actually it was a very easy process. I will definitely go into more detail, but pretty much you just need to get a couple of things together like your diploma and like your transcript, and you can easily transfer. Me, I went to a 2-year community college, so I graduated college, I got my diploma and everything, so I was easily able to transfer here. And you can transfer as a sophomore or a junior. I picked a junior because I just want to quickly graduate, and that's what I personally did. And there was really no problem because I had graduated. If I didn't graduate, it would be more of a problem trying to transfer. As long as you graduate from a 2-year college, if you're a US citizen, you can easily transfer to almost any university here. Maybe not all your classes will transfer over, but they'll take the credit. Like what they did is they took all of my credits, and the ones that seemed logical, those are the ones that they put towards my graduation. So I still have some required classes that I need to take that are required by this university. There's just some courses that I have to still take. I kept talking with the international office. They helped me out a lot. It's really not a hard process, but me personally, I only applied to this university. I considered other universities, but the reason behind it was because I didn't have a TOPIK score, and again, I'll get into more detail about that with my next videos. But this is the only university that I applied to. I got accepted really easily. It was not a hard process, and honestly, there's really not a lot of American students here, so I had a really good shot at getting into this university. With the language courses, yes, I have to say that I complained a lot about the language courses in the past because I was a language student, but coming out of the language courses, they helped me get my foundation, an actual good foundation that was like, this is the proper Korean. Like I got my proper Korean base, and I was able to move on from there. So I'm starting to learn more slang. I'm starting to understand more. Definitely my speaking and listening skills were 100% improved from the language courses because they were all in Korean all the time. I would have to say I would 100% recommend the courses, but they're very difficult. If you're like me, language does not come easy to me, so I failed. I will be honest, I failed every level and had to retake them. So I took every level twice because I am just really not good at learning languages so quickly. At some points you have to memorize 100 words a week, and you go through 2 chapters in like 1 week, and it's very difficult. It's a 10-week course, and in 10 weeks you finish 1 level, and there's 6 levels, so it takes a year and a half to get to level 6 if you don't fail anything. For some people, I have friends who just quickly went through it, they're fine, but for me personally, I had to retake the levels, and I'm not ashamed of that. Yeah, it cost more money, but I was able to fully understand what we were doing. So I would recommend the Korean language courses, and I'll go into more detail in my video coming up soon. I'm going to do one last question that I've actually gotten from a friend, and I'll end this video because it's getting quite long. How are foreigners regarded on campus? Is there any type of stigma associated with foreign students, particularly Western students, that is useful to know beforehand? And example, like guys with like yellow fever or Americans are ignorant. The way that foreigners are looked at here compared to Seoul is very different. A lot of people will tell you, especially if they live in Seoul, oh, it's fine, like you get stared at sometimes, but if there's so many foreigners, not a big deal. Living in Gwangju is different. Gwangju does not have as many foreigners as Seoul, and because of that, yes, we do get stared at quite often. I know every day I can walk down the street and I can make eye contact with someone. Granted, on campus, because there's so many foreigners, it's not a big deal, but when I leave campus and I go somewhere just like away from generally public areas, people stare at me a lot more. People have like made comments towards me, and I think the biggest thing that bothers me is like it's always some creepy dude who will come up to me. He'll see that I'm an English speaker and he'll come up and be like, hello, my name is so-and-so, I would like to practice English with you. And I'm like, that's great, I don't know you, please stop getting in my bubble. For stigma, I would have to say, at least foreign students on campus, they're regarded as like very cool because there's not a lot of foreigners here in general. So a lot of Koreans really want to become friends with you, but they're very shy. I notice in the English literature classes that I'm taking, the foreign students are more easily approached, so the Koreans will actually go up to them and start talking to them, while in my business courses, it's a little bit harder to make friends with the people who are in your class. Not everybody, I'm not saying this is everybody, but Koreans are sometimes very shy and they are worried that you don't know any Korean, so they have to use only English. And I mean, it would be the same way if it was flip-flop. Like, we would be embarrassed, that we would be really shy to talk to somebody in another language, so I completely understand. It does make it hard for people to be approached. The foreign students are considered very cool, it's very different, like anything that's different and new, they're like, wow, that's really cool. But some people do have a stigma towards it, so especially if it says particularly Western students, they assume that every foreigner here is American, which is not necessarily true. Granted, the Uzbekistan population in my school is becoming a lot bigger, but I feel like from what I get on campus is that there's no particular stigma towards the Western students. There's more of a stigma towards like the Chinese students than there is us, because there's a lot of rumors about like Chinese students, they don't smell good and they're really loud and they're just obnoxious and they don't really care, which I 100% do not agree with. I have a lot of Chinese friends, they do not smell, they shower, and we're all loud. Like, everyone is loud. But if you see a group of Korean girls walking down the street all laughing, they are freaking loud. Like, they are so loud laughing. So I don't understand why they think Chinese students are super loud and that they're ignorant, because like my last roommate, she was Chinese and I loved her. She was my favorite roommate I've ever had. I think there's not so much a stigma towards Westerners, but there is towards Chinese students. I will say that when it comes to guys and girls, Korean guys have an idea that Western girls are very easy. What I mean by that is that they can easily hook up with a Western girl, have sex with her, and then leave. I don't want to get into too much detail about that. If you really want to know, again, comments all down below, whatever you want to know. From what I've heard and from my personal experience of being single, yeah, that is something that they just think that, oh, I can just hook up with a white girl and then I can just be like, oh, rode the white horse, done with that. That is, I think, the only stigma behind it, is that maybe girls are easy and maybe the guys are a bit easy too. That's the only negative stigma I can really see from being a student here. From my personal experience, I've loved being a student here. I've never had racism to the point where it bothered me a lot. Yellow fever, I would have to say, some people are going to assume that you have yellow fever if you're interested in Korean guys. People tell me that too, but I don't see my interest in Korean guys as yellow fever, as that's just who I'm attracted to. Some people are attracted to black people, some people are attracted to white people, some people are attracted to Asians, some people are just specifically attracted to a certain race, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just your personal preference. Yellow fever is not a big deal. I wouldn't concern yourself with that. Koreans aren't going to think that you have yellow fever. It's only if you sit there and just be like, oh, drama this, drama that. It's like they're going to be like, you just want a Korean boyfriend because you watch dramas. That's the thing that they think. They think about the dramas. They think you watch dramas and want to find someone who is just like the dramas. I would have to say, just don't obsess about dramas and they won't think anything bad of you. Anyways, to know beforehand, just don't be mean. Like, don't do something stupid. Try to respect the culture. Try to learn the culture before coming here, because that's the thing that is going to really impress people and they're going to like you more if you try hard to adapt to their culture. If you're gonna come to this country and be like, oh, well, I don't know the culture, I'm American, I'm just gonna do it my way, then yeah, they're gonna be upset. They're gonna be really upset because you're not trying. You're in their country. This is not your country. This is not my country. There's a lot of things about the culture I don't like, but I still put up with it because I know I am not Korean. I need to understand that this is how it is in Korea, not how it is back home. If you just can respect people and respect the way they are, respect their culture, even respect the foreigners that have different culture who come to the school, because you're gonna meet a lot of foreigners as well, not only Koreans, but foreigners. Have an open mind and be respectful. Anyways, any questions, anything you want to hear in more detail, go ahead and leave a comment down below. I'll definitely get to it soon. Thank you guys so much for wishing me luck on my midterms. Your wishes really helped me get through it, and I did miss making videos, I did miss YouTube, and I'm very glad to be back. If you like this video, would like to see more, go ahead and like and subscribe. I also have Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat, so go check me out on those, and I'll talk to you guys again later. Bye! That was like the free gifts that I got. That have been working really well.